Welcome to Summer Split, episode 21 of the EUphoria podcast, presented by ExpressVPN. You can go to expressvpn.com/LEC now and claim your 14-day free trial and subscribe to get free Hextech chests and keys.
You can also go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube to find all of our episodes, including this one where we're getting lawyered. We've got Upset, who's coming along with Poby to make sure that he can keep all of his answers clean. We get some of the spice from behind Fnatic and their upcoming predictions for playoffs.
It's a really awesome episode, and with Madrid 2 weeks away, you won't want to miss it. So let's get right into it. Welcome, Fnatic. We've got Poby and Upset on the podcast. It is an absolute honor to have you both here. Poby, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm really happy today.
Yeah. Tell us why you're so happy today.
Because today we lose. I guess season is clear.
Yeah.
Over.
Over. But we win today. We still have a chance. We go worse.
Nice. How you doing, Upset?
Same, yeah. I feel relieved mostly. Of course, fourth is not where we want to end the season. We're not qualified for Worlds yet, but today was a very important match. I think Giants, for me, clearly look like the fifth strongest team. So I think it was important that we have a good showing today and we don't slip up. And relief, happy.
So tell me about the series today, because game one, obviously, was close. I think we can all agree GiantX probably should have won that game.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
So what happened in the game that basically resulted in that situation?
I think we just took a bad decision one time by fighting in our topside jungle when their bot lane was left completely exposed to a dive, because the laning phase was going quite well for me and Mickey in that one. And I think that fight loss kind of snowballed into a lot of indecisiveness around objectives from us. Like, I think the Atakan sequence was pretty bad. And I think then once we lost Elder Dragon, like the team fight there, and they got Elder and Nash, the gold lead just exploded, right? Because they can take every tower. We have to just hope they don't get our Nexus. And then we just won the game, I guess.
What was the calls towards the end of that game? Because it felt like you were getting very close to full items. Everyone looked like they were in a good spot. Was it, hey, if we can hold, we can win? Or was it just, hey, we're talking about the next game?
Yeah, it was exactly like you're saying. Basically, we said like, okay, there's like 3 or 4 more waves of Elder Dragon with Nasher coming. Just try to clear it. Obviously, we have great scaling in our comp and we have the soul. So even if they are up 20,000 gold, in the end, it doesn't really matter because of inflation. When everyone has full items, gold is worth much less, right? And we have the permanent buff of the soul. So we just wanted to stall every single wave that was coming in. It was pretty close in the end. And then we got a good fight in the end. Like, Asante tried to kill me and I killed him. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Yeah, but it was all about stalling for sure. Yeah.
So how was the series for you, Poby? What was your experience in the GX series?
I playing Scream. I think GX is good team play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, team play. I'm a little bit worried, but we doing well. I'm confident today match.
Fair enough. And how was your matchup against Jackie's today? Because I heard in scrims, you two, it's pretty explosive. He told us he respects you a lot based on scrims. So how was your experience playing against him today?
I'm playing Jackie's. He play many Joker pick. Many Joker pick. I don't like this, but he very big champful. I think he's a good player. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So as you mentioned, the win against GX was a super big deal because it secured a spot in Madrid. I am very curious as to how you both feel about getting the opportunity to play in Madrid. Normally, we only have the semifinals and finals, but it's 3 days of competition now in Madrid. So if you guys want to make it to Worlds, you just have to win that first best of 5. But what are your thoughts about playing in front of a live arena in Madrid?
I want to play big stage. It's fun. I guess Madrid, maybe 50,000, 12,000.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. Many people. Very big stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it's same for me. I think these are always the moments you remember the longest. Like when I look back at my career, like moments where you actually play on a really big stage. I think it's always like a surreal moment. I guess it's probably similar for you guys to cast like in a huge stadium, right? it's like not something many people can experience. So I'm very grateful to have that opportunity. And I think all this year we have been the third or fourth best team in the playoffs. And I think there wouldn't be a better story to do it in Madrid with 2 Spanish players. It's also where I played my first final actually in Madrid in 2018.
I remember, yeah.
So I think the storyline is all there. Hopefully we don't get stomped by KC.
Well, it was against Fnatic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
it's full circle.
Yeah,
if we win now in Madrid, it would be.
It was, yeah, because it was Caps as Fnatic at that time, right?
Exactly.
It's also funny because this is the same way you ended up in this spot because you beat GiantX in spring and have to beat KC this time around, and where you weren't able to take them down. So it would be very cool to see that kind of progression in the story rather than it just being full circle.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Damn, that's really awesome. So we really wanted to know, Poby, what your experience has been like playing with Fnatic so far this year, coming from over in Korea, and kind of what it's been like for you.
Before coming Berlin, I'm really many worried because I'm not doing well English, and then maybe food is really different, but just try and eat. It's good. Yeah. Now,
Have you found good Korean food in Berlin?
Yeah, sometimes I go Korean restaurant and Korean barbecue. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. And how's your experience been playing with Poby?
I mean, it's been great to have like a really new and young player in a way. Like last year, I really enjoyed it with Vladi, somebody who just like is 18, 19, like brings me back to when I was that age and just really is into the game so much. I think that's always very important, that there's the love for the game. And I think sadly, some people that play for a long time, it's easy to lose it because it seems like a dream at first, but then when you're actually in the job and there's a lot of stress and over the same thing, it can get tiring. So having that new energy, that fresh energy, somebody so young and talented, it's been great for sure.
I actually completely understand that. Like we've been casting for a really long time now, and sometimes you kind of forget the magic of it, and it just becomes the day-to-day, right? It becomes the normal. And I can imagine that because, I remember the last time you and Mickey were on the podcast, you kind of joked about it, but you did allude to how difficult the environment was at times, the conflicts, some of the ideology conflicts, especially how some people wanted to play the game a certain way. And I have to imagine that having a fresh voice really just changes that perspective in Fnatic.
Yeah, definitely. Team is always conflict, right? That's just natural. But I think especially with the last roster, the core of Marek, Ivan, and Oscar have been together for many times. And they did very well, but often also in the finals and the really important moments, they fell short. And I think that can really seep into your psychology. Like maybe it's a little harder to trust that you're going to make it this time if it hasn't worked out yet, right?
Right.
I think having a new perspective like Poby definitely makes the environment very different for us. Yeah.
Awesome.
And is that giving you a lot more confidence now going into these next couple of series? Like that environment has changed to a place where you think you can go the distance, like make finals, win the split?
Definitely considering our trajectory, I think like mental wise, the last 2 splits, it gives me a lot more hope because it's a different team in a way, right? Yeah. I also thought, to be honest, like I think I'm delusional, like I lose every time basically, but I always think we can win and I always feel like it's possible, right? But I think it was important to have that fresh air in the team in a way. Yeah.
You're a player that I think a lot of people want to see lift that trophy because you've come so close for so long.
Yeah.
We've seen, I think that you're definitely one of the most talented AD carry players to have never lifted a trophy, right?
For sure.
And it has to be frustrating to have to be so close so many times. But I have nothing but admiration for the sheer resolve that you have because every time we've spoken, you seem to be in a good place. You seem to always be happy. And obviously you've faced many challenges, but my favorite thing about you is what I define as your German humor, you know, the way that you seem to always just find a positive and a fun light. And I imagine that this year hasn't been an easy one. And right now, like on paper, Fnatic don't look like the favorites to win the title.
Yeah, clearly not, yeah.
G2 looks like the clear favorites, but they've looked like clear favorites before.
True, yeah.
And we know that when playing in a live arena, things change.
100%, yeah.
right? Because I think back to spring, you guys had that series versus Mad was absolutely insane, right?
Yeah.
Right
It
at the
was nuts,
Nexus, the whole Lichbane thing, the
Yeah.
whole like. So I'm excited to see what you guys can do. I imagine that you believe what you can do. But if you don't mind sharing, like, what do you think? And if Poby, if you feel comfortable as well, where do you guys think the gap exists between you and some of the other teams right now?
Why you think we right now lose to Koi G2 on stage? Like, what's different between us and them?
For me, maybe Caps or Jojo is many experience in playoff or something. And I made with teammate 2 months ago. I think we should more talk and play game, getting better. Yeah.
We don't have the best structure in the game when it comes to mid game. I feel. I think we really need to. Obviously, we are trying to work on it, right? But we really need to now use this time that we have gotten to fine-tune that, because I do feel that other teams, at least Koi and G2, I feel like they're more on the same page in mid game. I think obviously every team makes mistakes, and you could see Koi also threw a big game, but it feels like their way of playing is more systematic than ours, and I think we need to improve on that if we want to grind out a series, because when it comes to best of fives, it's always a war usually in the top 4.
But you're also under a lot of pressure. Like, as you said, Poby, it's only been 2 months since you guys have been together. And now you're under all this pressure to be the best team and try and reach for the top. So it feels like to me like this is something that will come with time. But it just feels like you don't have that time to do it, which makes it so difficult to try and balance everything.
Yeah, I don't think our team should think at all that there's pressure. I think looking at how many times we went third or fourth or second or in Fnatic over the last like many years, I think no one should expect that we're going to win. I think we should take pride in that underdog position that we have now and try to make something happen that people don't believe, because like from the outside, like, why would I believe that Fnatic is gonna, why would it be this split, And I think we should take strength out of that instead of thinking like, oh, we have to win, because reality shows you don't have to win. You can lose. You can lose. You can lose many times.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
So I don't think we should have much pressure in our team.
And how are you feeling about your chances? Because you only have to win one series to get to Worlds. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, I can do it, I think, but I don't believe now, because 1 year ago, I just SEK CL player, but now I'm join LEC and Fnatic, and next match I win, I go Worlds. I don't believe it. Yeah.
That's very awesome. It's also crazy how, I mean, you played with Reckless, right?
Yeah.
The original OG Fnatic guy.
Yeah.
Has he said anything to you since you've joined Fnatic?
No.
Yeah.
He don't say if not.
But he never go to Poby. He always play with Smash,
Yeah,
That's
true.
He loves his AD carry, not his mid laner.
Yeah.
So Mickey needs to go mid now and make it up to him.
Yeah. That's really awesome. And so thinking about the rest of, how much did you guys watch the other games? Did you watch the KC Vitality series as well? And did you watch the G2 Koi series?
Yeah, we together watch game. But I'm not focused their game and just eat pizza, just eat pizza and just watching.
Just having fun.
We were just having fun as a team, kind of just watching. But I mean, the Koi G2 one was just crazy to me, because that 11k gold lead throw swung the momentum so hard. I think you have to still show some respect to Koi that they bounced back the next game, I think, right? They were down 2-0 after throwing the game. But you have to wonder if they would close out that game, that they should win like 99 out of 100 times. And then they win the next game. How would that have shaped them up? I don't know.
Shaped up.
Yeah. I mean, it would have changed things, definitely. Like, you could kind of see that, as you say, like, Koi should have had that. And I think if you're coming off the back of 2 wins now, going into a third, and you've got the champion pools that MKOI do.
Yeah.
It felt like it would be much like a much bigger swing into MKOI's favor. And I think that's where I think they'll be kicking themselves. But I think it makes it very interesting now for everyone who has to go up against them, like potentially yourselves included, is like, where does MKOI stand? Because it didn't feel like we got a full taste of what MKOI had to offer.
Yeah, because I'm really interested, mainly the reason why I asked you guys this is when you watch as players, I have to imagine that you guys like, I don't know, there's a degree of trash talk, there's a degree of, a bit of gossip and all that fun. And I'm just wondering if those series to you kind of made you realize something about these teams. Because when I sit there and I think about G2 and Koi, they're the type of teams that should be able to push each other and show weaknesses in one another, right? And in the same vein, like you guys are going up against KC, Vitality definitely showcased some of the weaknesses in KC's game plan as well. So I was curious, based on your experience, and you don't have to go into too much detail about KC, especially as I know they're your opponents, but if there was anything about G2 and Koi that kind of stood out to you, was like, that kind of surprised me. This is something that maybe we can take advantage of.
I mean, honestly, we were kind of just watching it for fun, but usually before we play a team, we watch like the last 5 series, like every person individually watches it.
Wow.
And then we talk as a team, like what we noticed in our opponent. So once we do that, we will surely mark a lot more things. But initial thoughts, like G2 has, I think, found themselves really. The only question is, it also seemed like they found themselves in winter and in spring split in the upper bracket. And I think everyone on paper should think they're the favorites. But sometimes getting knocked down to the lower bracket, it sucks if you obviously don't make it. But the one team that perseveres through all the series has so much stage time and experience that it often feels like an advantage if you actually make it to the final. So G2 again is like in that little bit awkward position where they don't have many stage games, and then they play the grand final in 2 weeks and they don't get to play any of the other teams.
Yeah, we have heard that from teams before where they've said sometimes getting to play the day before makes such a massive difference because you just get that extra bit of experience of playing on stage. So we'll see how much that ends up affecting them. I do want to talk a little bit more about KC, only because they are your opponents. How much, I imagine you guys haven't done really any prep on KC yet because you had to fully focus on GiantX. Do you guys have any initial impressions? Do you have any thoughts on Vladdy as a player?
Honestly.
Yeah.
We've heard the rumors. It's all good.
What is meant?
What do you think, Vladdy?
I think it's just good. Yeah.
Just good.
Yeah. Nothing special. Yeah.
Nothing special. I love how just straight to the point he is.
I think he has no other choice.
That's a
Poby,
fair argument.
Who is your favorite mid laner to play against in
LEC?
Yeah.
I guess Jojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is that?
I think Jojo in lane is very good. And then he really polite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Polite?
Yeah. Not rude. Yeah.
I think only to you. Usually not.
You know? We before stage game fist bump.
Yeah.
He say good luck.
Ah, nice.
Well, that's very nice.
That's wholesome.
And coming from the LCK, I mean, what was your relationship like with the T1 roster? Did you learn a lot from the T roster? Was it connected, or was your team, T1 team, were they two different things?
I play main team. This means enemy team is main team. True. In laning is very many different matchup or style, and really hard. And macro, I don't know. 3 years ago, I don't know all. Just playing. Yeah, really hard time.
It has to be quite difficult for Poby coming from the LCK, coming to here with the change in format. And our community has expressed a lot how frustrated they felt with the summer split. I'm super curious as to your guys' experience with the format, what it's been like for you with the group system and the playoffs, and like having these periods of downtime, how effective it's been for you, good, bad. I'm very curious as to your experiences in this format.
I don't like it because only 4 game and play up. I want a more match because 1 match and stop 2 week and play. I think this is not good. I want to play more stage game.
How's your experience been, Upset?
Yeah, I mean, I thought spring was honestly a really great format, like playing every team in a best of 3, having the road show in between, that felt really like a complete season, like I remember from 2022, like back then. Because I was never a fan of the 3 super weak best of ones. Like the splits didn't feel like a full split. It felt all kind of rushed. So the playing so many best of 3s every week for 7 weeks and even playing in front of a big crowd, that format felt so much better than the summer split. Especially the groups were maybe a little bit uneven in a way as well. I felt like ours and G2's group, we had like 3 quite weak teams. And then G2 was obviously strong and we were the second strongest team. So it didn't feel like that much of an accomplishment to finish second in that group. And we only got to play G2 once and we didn't play KC or Koi like a single time in the whole regular split. So yeah, it was lacking something, I think. Like spring really felt complete and this felt more like the mini splits we had before, kind of.
In theory, though, you should have more time to scrim against these teams. But do you just feel that those scrims just don't give you the same level of experience or practice or something that translates to stage?
Yeah, I think the longer you scrims turn more into a scrim meta in a way where
I see.
The stage and scrim game is always going to be different because the stage game has like real consequences for your career, for the team, for everything, right? So it's hard to recreate that kind of pressure in practice, obviously. So you don't really know like how would this work if the enemy is playing very, very serious and I'm playing very, very serious. So scrim practice is often a lot more loose, just naturally, because that's just, I think, how humans work. I think you can't really change that. So I think you need to play on stage to confirm what you have been doing in practice, basically.
I see.
So, like you need to test it in the fire. And if you don't do it, if you don't play on stage for many weeks, you might have this is maybe something Giants faced, right? They say they had a lot of success in scrims, but what they do in scrims maybe doesn't really work on stage, you know?
I mean, we've seen it a lot internationally. I think that to me is one of the best comparisons because when teams go international, often, I know, for example, in Europe, we've had situations where you guys have all scrimmed each other.
Yeah.
You've got a pretty good idea of what you think the meta is. Then teams from around the world come, first week stage games.
Yeah.
These are not the champions that we were practicing.
I was promised the Mumu support at least 3 times.
I do remember, yeah. So I imagine, and so that's the sort of thing that you're talking about now, where sometimes those kind of habits end up developing, and that's where the breaks end up being a negative rather than a positive.
Yeah, I mean, what you describe is also like a scrim bubble when you play a wide field of opponents, but you only scrim a certain part. Like this can happen in playoffs too sometimes, where you only play one part of the group in other times, and then the other side is playing something completely different.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's why it's just better to have more stage games. It's also much more fun for the fans, I assume, right? They want to see their teams play that they support.
That's very fair. Well, I appreciate your insight on that. Fortunately, I know that a lot of conversations are happening because the community sentiment has been heard, and I know that the pro player sentiment is also being shared. So hopefully more messaging will come out around plans concerning the format. But we do want to talk international. How much have you guys been watching the international games? Have you been watching much LCK?
Yeah. He only watches LCK.
Yeah.
All day he's watching replay. That's the only thing he does.
How good is LCK right now?
You think best region in the world? Korea?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so too,
Yeah.
Surely EU close second. Yeah?
EU number 2?
Yeah. Yeah, we should, because I'm here.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I mean, let's talk about this international competition because we're getting closer and closer to Worlds. People want to know. And right now, there seems to be 2 camps. There seems to be camp 1, which is we're a bunch of haters. Our region is better than we think, and we need to stop on all the Duma. And there's the other camp, which is we're the 5th best region. We lost the CFO. We almost lost to Brazil. Things not looking good. Which camp are you in, Upset?
No, I don't think we're that terrible. I think it's close between... I mean, I think FlyQuest is a pretty good team because Inspired and Whippo are European, obviously. Nuktak Mythi coaching, like
naturally,
it's rough. But I think we are pretty competitive with NA at least.
We did get 3-0'd by them at MSI.
Yeah, but in Esports World Cup, it went well for G2 or something. That's the cope, right?
They beat BLG from what I remember. Yeah.
I mean, it depends. If you compare the region just by the strongest team, then it's a different conversation. But overall, I do think the top 4 in Europe have parity. I think there is like many good players in the teams, and I think the teams are pushing each other a little bit. But it's like if T1 wins Worlds, but China had like 3 teams in the top 4, like what's the stronger region? Like T1 is the best team. So that's a different conversation, right? But I'm not too much on the Duma train. I don't enjoy life that way anyway. So I'm optimistic about it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like also as a pro player, you kind of have to be, right? Like, you can't believe that they're just so good that they're unbeatable.
Yeah.
And I imagine that every opportunity you take to get a chance to play against these players. Is there a player from Korea you would love to play at Worlds?
I say my role model is Faker VDD rookie. I want against him.
Hey.
I think the whole world would be hyped to watch
Faker versus Poby.
Yeah,
Faker
versus Poby. Yeah.
Have you scrimmed against him much before, Faker?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you would just meet on stage, and would you turn nameplates off?
You have name on in game?
Yeah.
You have on?
No.
No.
Are you a nameplates off type of player?
Yeah, I it's just wasted space.
I like that efficient mindset. Got to maximize. All right. So again, thinking about World Championship, we know we're sending G2 and Koi. It's either going to be you or KC. That one best of 5 is going to determine our 3 Worlds teams. You asked the question about strongest region versus strongest teams. I mean, you guys have played against our strongest teams. You've watched a bunch of the LCK. We're looking at them to be the best region in the world right now. How close do you think our best teams are against those teams? We know that KT is going. We know that HLE is going, right?
Yep.
How close is EU to KT and HLE? Big gap, small gap?
Yeah, big gap, I think.
Big gap?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, KT is really hard to judge. Like, obviously, if a team beats Gen G in a best of 5, they must be really good. But the cope there is a lot stronger. I feel like I mean, obviously they just beat Gen G, but on paper, it's not like Ruler and Chovy and Carrier. It's Peter and Dogdam and Perfect, and it seems a little bit more feasible, I think, that the EU team could beat them. But it's hard to say because obviously if they beat such a strong team, there must be a reason why they did it as well, right?
So then help us understand why you believe there's such a big gap. What makes this gap between EU and Korea right now? Between the top teams, at least.
I mean, I think they play the matchups more crisp overall. I think there's just outstanding players in the positions, and I think they just if they would play the same matchup against the EU player 100 times, they would probably win 70 or 80%. I would think. I think Korea is super good at specializing in certain matchups and practicing it over and over and over again. And I think EU is more maybe creative or trying to figure out something that works for you, not trying to just be the best at what is the meta. Their team fighting, I think, has always been really impressive. I think when you watch peak Asian team fighting, I think the decisions individuals make and how they play together just seems a step better than what we see in Europe. But I do think that the creativity can lead to some wins, but winning a whole series is going to be difficult.
Yeah, I think it's also just the understanding the game or even the game sense they have just seems to be on a different level. Like even watching Billy earlier today, they faked that they were going to go do Baron, pulled off of Baron because they knew that a blue ward was going to go down, and then faked another reset because the enemy team was going to reset, and then they did Baron. And it was like, oh, well, they know that they wanted to reset, so they just faked it twice and then got it. And it was like, they got the Baron, they got out, and they won the game. And it's kind of things like that where it's just like the creativity they have and the understanding of their champions and what they can do in the game just seems to be at such a high level, and the understanding of what the opponent wants to do is at such a high level that it is just difficult because they've spent, I don't know if it's just the region as a whole has just put so much work into the game over so long. And I mean, it's just they've got so many resources to put into it that it just feels like the players at that level just understand the game fundamentally on a much higher level. And as you say, like even down to singular matchups and stuff for different champions, it's just they know more, and I don't know how we try to catch that.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it also feels like they play against each other the whole year,
Yeah.
and they keep pushing themselves forward, right? And you could see like Koi and G2, I think, grew quite a lot of getting to play against them, but then they're back in Europe and practice is much different, right? So I think also that environment where you play against like the very best in the world all the time, it keeps making you like a little bit better, right?
But for me, like, they can't have always been the best, right?
True, yeah.
Like at a certain point, something had to have happened. And like, maybe it was when Faker arrived on the scene and they sat there and said, well, Faker's here.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, right. And then, you know, you have Faker and then people get to play against Faker and then he becomes the standard. But I think back to like, you know, this is an example that's used a lot, 2019 G2, but also 2018 Fnatic, right? Both
Sure.
teams made the world finals. Both teams were considered world-class caliber. And so I have to imagine that it's possible that all you need is a player or even a few players to provide you with the foundation for other players to suddenly go, oh, it clicks, it makes sense. So why can't we get there? What is lacking in our practice or our approach or anything really?
But I think part of the problem is like just the longevity of our players. Like if you think of LCK, it's like Faker's been around forever. You look at like
True.
BDD, Showmaker, all these are like household names that have been around for such a long time. And this is not like giving crap to any of the newer guys because they are doing fantastic, but it's just like so many of our teams that are in playoffs, the roster has only been playing professionally for 2 years. Like the players on the
How long is
teams,
your
like,
career now?
2017, I promoted with Schalke, so 2018 was my first LEC split. But
Yeah.
I played like in the Challenger Series to promote the team the year before, so
8-9 years, give or take.
very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Very long
but
time.
what I mean is like if you look at Vitality, there's Karzi who's been playing a while. BDS, not really anyone who's been there for a substantial period of time. Heretics has Flacked. GiantX, all new, relatively new names. Fnatic obviously has yourself and Mickey. And then Razork is
Razork
kind
at
of
this
in there.
point,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy to think Razork
Yeah,
is
well,
playing
Carmen
for
Corp has
so long.
Kana. G2 obviously is a bit more stacked. And then you've got Elyoya on Movistar.
Well, Targamas as well too.
Targamas as well, sorry.
Targamas
Yes.
playing a long time too,
But that's what I mean is like you don't have the players that have been there for a long time that get to build up this wealth of knowledge. And I think a lot of it, as I say, comes down to game sense of this understanding of I have been in this situation like thousands of times before. I understand that I can make this play or I can't make this play or we should be doing Baron or we should set up Dragon here. I think you're just missing that. And you're trying to teach this new batch of players all this wealth of knowledge that Faker has learned 7 years ago. And now
invented
it's
it
just
probably,
integrated it more and more over the course of the 7 years. So I think that is also part of it is that we have seen this new batch of players and we're waiting for these players to now like get the veteran status that kind of like lets yourself kind of, which is why I think you do have kind of a step above a lot of AD carry players in your role is like you have been in so many situations that you're able to rely on that experience to understand how you can exploit the matchup or see something that a different player wouldn't.
No, for sure. I mean, experience is a huge factor, but I think it's such a complex issue with probably like so many different angles you can look at it from. So it's very hard to find like a single answer why. I think culture is probably a huge difference in terms of how they work. Maybe even coaching. They have many people from maybe even older games like StarCraft Brood War coming into these roles. Like I think they could list so many different factors and it's very hard to exactly pin down, but I guess we can ask Poby, why Korea better? Why Korea so good?
Just Korean young people always same for me, always go PC bang, PC bang, and then just playing, and then I think many time games, and I don't know why Korean better, but Korea many good talented player. Yeah, yes.
PC banks, we need more PC banks.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that is true. I know Yamato coached in LCK for a while. Is coach relationship with players different in Korea than in EU?
I think not in EU coach, Korean coach. I think coach is really many different. But last year, I don't know, my coach is Radar, last year my head coach, but he's really smart and
we have grabs.
yeah, true. Yeah, true.
So that's the difference.
No.
No, he doesn't mean it. Just joking.
He made me different. Yeah.
Yeah.
You teach him a lot. He always say his coach in Korea, because he was such a new player, he'd teach him everything that he know now. So he's really grateful to him. But he also always say he liked our coaches too in Europe.
Yeah, true.
That's interesting. That's super cool. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I bring this up, and I appreciate you giving so much insight, Upset, as well, and Dagda, it's a really nice perspective, just because I know fans are just, we're desperate for EU to perform at Worlds. And it's funny because, like, the topic of format comes up a lot, right? But I believe I want to push a movement forward to make the format worse at international events.
True. Yeah.
Because we need more best of ones, right?
Yes.
That's what we need. Less best of fives, more best of ones.
Yes.
Because the truth is, EU can take a game off Gen G. You know what I mean? I think, like, we've seen it happen before.
I could T1 in the best of one. It can happen.
That's what I'm saying.
It
Like,
can happen.
we've seen it happen before. I'm very confident that we can take games off them. So if we go back to a best of one group stage situation, probability of us getting out of groups immediately goes up. Don't you agree?
100%, yeah. I mean, also at Worlds last year, it was like NA playing against NA, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
This is what I'm saying.
we need some people in the staff to fix it for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
if
saying.
two European teams play to qualify, then it's
We get
inevitable,
that.
right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? So we know that Koi, they won a game versus BLG at MSI. They should have won too. There was that game 4 incident, which we won't talk about. And unfortunately, that is a topic that I have said a few times for Koi, maybe even this weekend.
Potentially.
But I'm just saying that, like, let's just reduce the number of games in our best ofs, and then all of a sudden EU's chances immediately go up.
I agree. Yeah.
It's flawless logic, yeah.
Thank you. I'm really glad that we're all agreed.
Yeah.
Excellent. Moving on. Yeah, obviously there's a lot. I mean, we're all hopeful, and I feel bad. Like, I largely just feel bad for the players, because for me, like, yesterday when I cast Koi versus G2, I felt like I saw some great League. And today, like, I think that we again saw some great League. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I think that very few teams in reality are perfect, and at the highest level, it becomes less about the number of things you do right, and it becomes more about the number of things that you do wrong. Ultimately, the fewer mistakes you make is the key difference maker when at that level. And I think that there's just so much scrutiny on EU right now because of the results just haven't been there for a while.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear that you still come in with such a positive mindset of, like, I still believe that we can go toe to toe. I still believe there's a huge amount for us to learn, and I still believe that we can compete, because that's the best mindset that EU can possibly have. Like, if we just go in believing that it's all over before it's begun, then what's the point, right?
Yeah, and I feel all teams in Europe are pretty delusional, so.
It was
Casters
broken
too.
We're all on the mega EU cope.
It was Broken Blade that said, as long as there is delusion, there is a chance, right?
That's true, yeah. You have to be at this point,
Yeah, you kind of have to be. Anyway, I appreciate that discussion. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit about Madrid. You guys are playing up against KC. I want to get into the nitty gritty now, because when we think about that matchup, what can we expect? Because we thought in the GX series today, it would be all about bot lane. We thought it would be junglers ganking bot. It would be non-stop action bot lane. But in games 1 and 2, it was actually a little bit less violent than I was actually expecting.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't dive, honestly. Like, we were... I think lane was going great, honestly, with Zaira Khan. Like, winning that matchup was... I don't know, we just tried to fight topside. We tried something new. Why not? No, but on a more serious note, we are trying to obviously not be one-dimensional. Like, I think Mickey and me are very good at laning, and we have a good champion pool. But we want to be a team that can play on every role, and we have tried to emphasize after losing to G2 to also make sure that Oscar and Poby can do more in the games, like that we facilitate everything. Obviously, it's not easy to just get really good at everything, but we have been trying to work on that. So I think we got a little bit better, and I think you could see today Oscar had some really nice performances.
He did, yeah. He ended up winning
The
the
Rex side was
series.
insane.
Yeah. So I think it's just about finding what works for us and keep working on it. But talking about KC, this year in playoffs, it hasn't been going well for us against them. But I also do think that playing in front of a big crowd, no one can predict what's going to happen. I still remember Rogue, for example, 2022, like Fnatic, like us and G2 were the clear favorites. And just winning on stage, I think, can energize you so much. And the game really is different when you play on stage. It really feels different. So I think anything can honestly happen. But I think KC has been a tough competitor this year for us. Yeah.
Poby, have you played in Arena before?
In LEC?
No, T1 homestand, right? You play?
Yeah, I play. Yeah.
Oh, was
in
it
the
big
T1
arena?
event, yeah.
Ah.
Like 12,000 people? Many people, right?
Yeah, many
Yeah.
people.
Wow.
Many people.
So big stadium.
Did you play better or worse, big crowd?
Really better because many fans and many people say something. It's really a good feeling.
And he was in T1, so.
Yeah.
Home crowd.
And you have two Spanish players, so home crowd.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, last time I got booed in Madrid. I don't know.
Oh, true.
I don't know what I do.
Yeah.
But we're not playing with Koi in the first match, so it's fine.
God damn, that's true, actually. Yeah. It was quite a Koi favored arena.
I mean, yeah, it was their event, so
Yeah.
I would hope so.
That would make sense. Yeah. All right. So, again, coming back to expectations, though, what do you think, Dagda? Like, what do you think is going to be a key matchup in that series?
I mean, I think it will be bot lane. Like, I think Kalist and Targamas haven't been as comfortable in the 2v2, it seems like, as of late. So I think if Mickey and Upset can get a lead there, I think that's something that they can definitely look to exploit. And then I think a lot of it comes down to how Yike dictates the pace of the game. Because he's had some fantastic performances where he just feels like he can take over a game. Especially if you get like a Wukong or something like that, he looks really, really strong. But if not, and Razork is able to kind of like take control of in the jungle, I think that's where KC are really going to struggle. Yeah, I think a lot of it is going to come down to who can get these early leads and try and play it through them. Because you guys showed today, like once you got a lead, it was very clear that you're comfortable playing from that position.
Yeah.
Whereas for KC, they have struggled at times to get into that position. But yeah, like we saw game one, I think it was against Vitality, they just kind of, everything went disastrously. But you could see for the other games where Yike was able to control the game, they look so much better. Yeah.
Personally, I just think that Morgana's OP.
That too.
And
That too. Yeah.
Like game one, I think Morgana, that single target poke comp.
Was G2 banned most games, didn't they? Yesterday?
Was it against G2 that it was banned?
Was it against G2?
Koi
I don't
that
remember.
I thought was banning the Morgana. In any case,
Yeah.
the thing for me about KC is it feels like that my criticism of them all year has been their early games. So whenever I saw a Fnatic versus KC matchup, my instinct was always Fnatic should be better early, but then mid game KC just seems better because they team fight better. I think that KC's early game has improved, in my opinion. And I think that your guys' early game is the best when you play through bot. So when it comes into a matchup versus KC, is there something that you specifically try to watch out for? Is there something that you're kind of cautious of? Or is it just kind of like another team to you?
No, I mean, I think they're definitely a strong team. I think all teams in the top four have like big strength and going for them. I think it's not really about us getting elite bot lane. Obviously, it always helps, but I've gotten many leads and I've still lost many games. So I think it's really about making sure our whole team is solid and we can make sure that everyone on the map gets to play a good game. Like, I think that's the only way we can beat them, because obviously I think KC was having Kana. He's been a standout player this year, right? He nearly got MVP. Close, but anyways. Jokes aside, but he's obviously a fantastic player. And Vladi also, Poby said he's not bad. So, so we
Nothing
need to
special, I believe.
I think Yike, you describe it perfectly. I think when Yike is in the flow in the game, he just can completely take over. I think you saw it in winter. He was completely smurfing out of his mind. But there has also been sometimes this KC that shows up where like Targa and Yike, they die randomly. Maybe he's on Vi, just doing stupid stuff, and then then it looks a lot harder for them. But yeah, team fighting is strength. I think our team fight has been improving. We sometimes overcommit a little bit. I think that's always our Achilles heel. But I think it's been getting better. And yeah, I think like I said, it was just about our whole team playing solid together, I think.
How is communication for you, Poby, in game?
I think I didn't understand we say all, but I think not hard because just I know words, I can guess always. Yeah.
I guess. So in these chaotic fights, who's usually the lead voice when things kicking off, when everything is getting crazy?
Who talk and fight, you think?
I think Ivan and Elias. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many talking. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know.
Don't think about
if I
it.
talk. I mean, sometimes I say, help me. This is, or go, yeah. I mean, I think in fighting, it's the least like important part kind of for comms. I think fighting is much more about like trusting your instincts. Like you have played so many fights, you should kind of understand like when you should go back, when you should go forward. Like it's just about individuals making good decisions. And then if everyone does that, the group will prevail.
You reminded me of something in today's your Kaiser game.
Yeah.
Dragon fight.
Yeah.
You basically killed Jackie's on Oriana.
Yeah.
The reason why that stood out to me was because to me you're always what I would define as like a clean AD carry, right? You kind of make what I would describe as like the best possible choices. And we talked a lot in spring about how it feels like that you've just turned on this aggressive switch where you're not afraid to just go in. But that play specifically to me was kind of like he's actively sacrificing himself and just trusting his team to clean up the fight. And I remember specifically you saying, I will do whatever play if I trust my teammates. I'll follow any engage if I trust my teammates. And so the reason why that play stood out to me so much was because you just dived in the middle of that GiantX comp, traded 1-for-1, did whatever damage you could to the Corki, and then the Corki immediately dies afterwards thanks to the Cho ult, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And so I was just kind of curious if you do feel like you have, I mean, to me, that was a symbol of how much trust you have in your team right now.
For me, I don't really think much when I team fight. I really just try to be in the moment and trust myself mostly. If I think it's a good decision to go in and get so much damage, I will try to do it right. I was very happy that we won the fight afterwards. It would be pretty. I remember that yesterday, Super, you went in on top and got shockwave. But I actually was lucky. I dodged the shockwave. I will probably have to rewatch it. It worked out very well, and I nearly killed 2 people. But probably it wasn't necessary. I'm not sure. It just felt right in the moment. But
at least from what I could see, I think unfortunately Poby got stunned by Braum, which meant that he couldn't get the Galio ult on top of you, which might have been able to save you for longer. So, but sorry, every fiber of my being when you were talking there, after Vedi had given this, like, you trust your teammates, was just like, please say it was a misclick.
It was intended. Sometimes in fights, when you're playing Kaiser, like you really want to be there the moment your team is CCing them. So every second counts, and I don't remember the comms. Like I feel like people were saying go. Maybe I trust my teammates too much. I don't know. But
hey, it worked.
It worked out pretty well, I think. I mean, if I get shockwave there, it would have been definitely tragic, but I managed to dodge it, so I guess it worked.
Okay. All right. Well, clearly I overthought something, but that's fine. I appreciate your context. I want to talk about the other 2 teams, Mad and G2. We talked a little bit about them, but in Madrid, are you worried at all about the Madrid buff? Because you played against that team in Madrid, right? So any thoughts on if you go up against them next, how that's going to be?
No, I mean, I thought in Madrid we should have won 100% if Marek bought a Lich Bane right in this. It was just this Lich Bane again. And we also beat G2 in Madrid, which felt obviously very nice. So I think the energy is going to be good for us. I think changing the scenery, especially if you have lost to a team before in LEC, in the studio, in playoffs, same situation, doing it actually in a big stadium can be a game changer. So I'm really happy that we got to play in a big event.
Okay, Poby. Let's say there's no Fnatic. Okay? Casey, Koi, G2. Of those teams, how do you rank them? So who 1, who 2, who 3?
I think G2 is first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Koi, Casey is similar.
Similar?
Yeah.
Really? So if Fnatic beat Casey,
Yeah.
confident you can beat Koi as well?
Yeah.
You said that Jojo is fun opponent for you, yeah?
Yeah.
Because he's nice.
Yeah.
How is he to play in lane? Is he tough?
Yeah, he really aggressive and yeah, I think he
He play lane best, you say, yeah.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
He play lane better than Caps?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Lane, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in lane.
Interesting. Because it's funny. Jackie said the same thing, where he feels that playing in lane against Jojo was harder,
Mhm.
but Caps just plays the whole map better than any mid in the league.
Yeah, Caps, it's just as Caps thinks.
Jackie's described your play style very textbook. Does that make sense?
Textbook?
Yeah. So it's
Very-
very
yeah.
clean
Yeah.
and very well executed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious as to what is your mindset when playing mid at the pro level?
My mind is just cooking enemy meat. Yeah.
It's a good answer.
and then winning game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Cooking enemy
thinking
mid.
how to win.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
90% is how to win lane and 10% is win lane. That's how he thinks, actually. Yeah.
So as long as he's one lane, happy after game?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And does Mickey help win lane?
First come Fnatic. I think it's not perfect, but now we many talking with Mickey. I think getting better now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so does that then make you angry that he's leaving you?
No,
for-
I tell him, please go help your team. I'm just farming. Like, just do something. Like like in lane, of course, I like when he's there, but like in mid game, like I don't know, he's just chilling on my lane. It feels like, just do something, you know. We're just trading waves here. Like go with your mid laner.
So when you see that pike locked in, is it a
No,
sort of moment or is it
No.
just full hype, trust?
Pyke is one of my favorites. You don't know what Mickey is playing in scrims. Like
I do not know.
if you see his champion pool, like
I've seen his match
Hype.
history in solo queue, man. It's
like,
questionable.
I have to out Mickey. Like every time I play against him in solo queue, he picks one of his weird champs that he wants to play in scrims. Where I'm like, oh my god, really?
I don't want to talk about this because he revealed it on the cast.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh yeah, Yunara, I've got this Rammus counter
Yeah.
pick," and then I was like, "Oh yeah, that like logically makes sense." But there's no way he's playing it.
He played
and
against
then I
me
looked at his
solo
match
queue.
history. Yeah,
But I completely stomped him. He played against Lulu with Ramos. Like, it's unplayable. But no, I mean, I always like Pyke. Like I played with Hilly Pyke
Yeah.
and now Mickey Pyke. Like these are the two best Pikes I think in Europe has ever seen. Except maybe Caps Pyke, I don't know. Or Wunder Pyke. He played
Wunder
at top.
Pyke.
Yeah, anyone in G2 honestly, but the OG2. But no, Mickey's great on Pyke and Pyke is very strong in lane. And then he can roam a lot. And then like I get a lead and then my support is roaming. So the enemy support also has to roam. And then I just play 1v1 with the lead. It's great.
That's great to hear. The
Yeah.
one I always heard about was TF. Have you heard about his TF support?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I
I witnessed it. It's not that bad. Like there's worse champs that he wants to play sometimes.
can imagine that. He told me, he said with such confidence, he says, I've got a pick. I just need the right conditions.
Yeah.
And
I think
I'm
he's
just
just
like,
bored.
I feel like having played against him in Magic a bunch of times, I feel like it's the same experience
Yeah.
where he says, if I get the right conditions,
No,
everything
he's-
just comes together.
He's terrible at deck building. Like he only. I mean, it's just. This describes us perfectly because I always like to play like strong meta decks in Magic and
Yeah.
like do value things and it feels good. And he always has the weirdest angle. Like, okay, all my defenders use their power now, and
Yeah.
then I draw 8 million cards because I sacrifice something with 20 toughness. And it's always some weird convoluted stuff. And it's same in League. Yeah.
Wow. I can't even begin to imagine how that relationship has evolved over time, but at least we haven't seen it manifest on stage just yet. So far,
No, I still love playing with him. Like
I can imagine so.
It's completely fine. Like I try to be more open-minded. That's what I should work on, I think. Because, I mean, Mickey is just so talented at so many champions. So I think he's like one of the only supports that can actually pull off, like suddenly playing like a random champ that's not meta that no one else is playing. So he's like one of the only players where I think you need to give him that trust and that leeway that when he sees it and when he wants it, he should go for it.
Fair. All right. We've talked a bit about the bot lane synergy. What's the synergy like with Razork? Good relationship?
Yeah, I think in-game, Razork many times helped me. And not in-game, I think Razork is my captain.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm tired or I mental boom. He say, hey, Poby, together go sauna. And then real talk and help me. Yeah.
Yeah?
He's my captain.
Well, that's awesome.
That's so wholesome. Yeah.
So you guys go to sauna together?
Yeah.
We have a sauna in the office. So.
Oh, in the office?
Yeah, the boys go to the sauna sometimes. So.
Just, is it one-on-one, you and Razork?
Sometimes together, Oscar.
Sometimes with Oscar?
I went once too.
Yeah.
It was nice.
That's
I'm
really nice.
just trying to understand this dynamic because in my head, I now imagine he kind of puts his arm around Poby and he says, come with me to the sauna. Let's have a chat.
It's actually like that.
Yeah. And then he walks out and all of a sudden you're just refreshed. And you're just like, I'm ready to scrim again.
Yeah, maybe today we go sauna.
Nice. I mean, it's a victory sauna today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, victory sauna. Okay, cool. If you guys beat KC, that's what the win moment is going to be. That's going to be, it's a victory sauna for Fnatic as they qualify for Worlds.
It's the dream. Sauna after wanting to Worlds.
That's awesome. Right. I want to thank you both so much for taking so much time to talk to us. Poby, I know this wasn't easy for you, but thank you so much for coming and chatting to us. We have to lock in predictions because we like to put you guys on the spot. So, Fnatic versus KC. What is the score, Poby? You versus KC.
I guess 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
For who? Casey?
Fnatic 3-0.
Fnatic 3-0.
Yeah.
Okay, then versus Koi. We versus Koi.
I guess 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then G2.
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
You're going to 3-0.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. All right. Upset. Do you have the same level of confidence?
I mean, sounds good. Like, it would be a dream. Yeah, let's do it.
But so you're going to lock in same score
I
lines
mean,
as
I
Poby?
don't think it's going to be 3-0. I think these teams will probably get to beat us in some games, or that's what I would prepare myself mentally for. I think any series in these playoffs will be close.
I mean, I've worked with GiantX a bunch, and he would always tell me that when you've got grabs as a coach, you always just have to assume that one
or
game
two
is going
are-
to be a draft diff. You know what I mean? Especially in best of 5 fearless, like you never know what's going to happen, right?
Versus Koi, there was some. It's fine.
All right. So we'll say 3-1 versus KC, 3-2 versus Koi, and then a 3-1 versus G2.
I mean, for some reason, I think KC is maybe even the hardest opponent for us out of these three. So I think
Interesting.
maybe KC's 3-2, and then we have a lot of momentum, and then 3-1, 3-1.
3-1, 3-1. Okay, sick. All right, Dagda. Just pretend they're not there. Just close your eyes and say your predictions.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think the Fnatic KC game is such a toss-up. Because I think you guys have shown more than I expected in playoffs. And I think like it has been a better showing for you guys. For KC, it has been such a mixed bag over the last little while where I feel like I want to see more from them. So I don't really know. I think it will go to 5 games, and I can't really tell you who's going to win out in that series. I think when it gets to MKOI though, I think MKOI should be able to take that series. I think they just look very strong at the moment, and they have a clear understanding of how they want to approach the game and how they want to do things. And I think they've taken a lot of what they learned from MSI and are starting to implement it well, especially when it comes to like quicker decision making and like being on the same page with moments that they see that they can take the game. And then for what I expect to be G2 MKOI, I think it should be G2 just based off of the series that we just saw, obviously. But I mean, MKOI should have won another one of those games. So we just said that could have changed the whole dynamic. And I still haven't seen what the G2 guys look like, as in like the newer parts when the chips are really down and like everything's on the line.
On stage this time too, right?
Exactly, yeah. So that's where I'm a little bit unsure. I think again that'll go to 5 games, and that could easily go either direction again. It's just there's so much uncertainty around it, and I think again it kind of comes back a little bit to we haven't seen these teams face off against each other a huge amount this split, so it makes it very difficult to be like, oh, I can see they're going to exploit this thing that they exploited the last couple of times or something like that, right? There's just not enough data to look at.
Yeah, so I also think that game 1 will go 5 games. I think it'll be a 3-2, but I do think it'll be 3-2 Fnatic. And I believe that simply because of stage buff.
Okay.
I think in game 5, I don't know why, and like this is not based on any analysis. This is purely just
I like it. Keep going.
Because like on paper, I do believe in KC more, but I think in an environment like that, I fully believe because you mentioned earlier that sometimes you have an overextension issue, and I always kind of, maybe it's unfair of me, but I attribute that to Razork and like to a degree Mickey. But I feel like that if he's playing in Madrid, home crowd backing him, that's the best environment for him to lock in. Like that is how I imagine him. And I just feel like Oscar, a player who's like been very inconsistent throughout the year, same deal. And you mentioned that you beat G2, insanely close series versus Koi. Like I really do think that in a game 5, that is where I believe, will get the better of KC, where I think they'll feel the pressure, and the experience difference could very well be the deciding factor. Against Koi, though, I think the exact opposite, where like the just objectively silly mistakes that they make when they lose games, I just think are less likely to happen in that environment. And so that's why I think that Koi will actually beat both Fnatic and G2. I think that Koi is primed to actually win another split, because I think that the potential to me is very clearly there. It is just they make too many dumb mistakes, and I'm glad that Jojo talked about it, because he openly said himself that like we make so many stupid mistakes, we just clean them up and we'll be good. I believe that Madrid will be the environment for them to do that. But we'll end up seeing how things pan out. I wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you.
Madrid is 2 weeks away. You'll now have 2 weeks to scrim who you can.
I don't know. G2, I guess, for 2 weeks.
And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you again so much, Poby and Upset, for joining us. Upset, your translations were, as always, fantastic. Really appreciate that. Is there anything you'd like to say to...
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the Fnatic fans at the end of this episode?
Thank you for Fnatic fan, and we will show you we are the best team in LEC. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. That'll do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Lawyer. We really appreciate that. This has been episode 21 of EUphoria. This is the last episode of the Summer Split. I want to thank you all so much for watching. We had some awesome guests on today, and really want to thank you again. It's been a long day for you both, and I know coming and chatting on here is no easy thing to do. So thank you so much for watching this split. And we also have to give a big shout out to ExpressVPN, to all the sponsors of this video. You can head over to expressvpn.com/LEC to get your 14-day free trial, plus subscribe to get free Hextech chests and keys now. We're going to see you very soon. We'll see you all in Madrid, in fact. So thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.